Hi, Year 6. I thought I'd read you another set of stories from the books that we often read. So today's pages, that's page 124. I just chose them myself because no one told me which one to choose. And we're going to read about someone called Mary Anning from the first book. And then we're going to read one that you might have heard of, Louis Braille. And then the last one is a physicist called Merritt Moore. So I'm going to start with the first one. Mary Anning. This is a picture of her. And she was a paleontologist who was born in the United Kingdom in 1799, so quite a long time ago. In a tiny cramped house on the south coast of England, there lived a girl called Mary. Her house was so close to the sea that sometimes the storms would flood it. The winds and storms that swept along the coast often revealed fossils in the cliffs along the shoreline. These are the remains of prehistoric plants or animals that died a long time ago. Mary couldn't go to school because her family was too poor, but she taught herself to read and write. She studied geology to learn more about rocks and anatomy to learn more about the skeletons of the prehistoric animals that she found. One day she saw a strange shape jutting out of a rock. Mary took out her special little hammer and carefully chipped away at the rock. Bit by bit, she uncovered a 30-foot-long skeleton. It had a long beak, but it wasn't a bird. Rows of sharp teeth, but it wasn't a shark. Flippers, but it wasn't a fish. And a long, thin tail. It was the first ever discovery of that kind of dinosaur fossil, and she named it ichthyosaur, meaning fish lizard. At the time, people believed that the Earth was only a few thousand years old. Mary's fossils helped prove that there had been life on our planet for hundreds of millions of years. Scientists from all over the world came to see Mary, the self-taught scientist who loved walking by the sea. And she said, a quote here says, "My name is well known throughout Europe." Mary Anning. Maybe you've heard of her. So that's the first book. The next one, the book for boys who dare to be different, Louis Braille. Now, you probably have heard of this man, and you might have some clues when you look at the picture of him. Louis Braille was born in 1809 and died in 1852. He was born in France in a small house in the countryside where his dad worked making saddles for horses. Louis loved watching him at work. One day he took down a tool and tried to copy what his dad was doing. The tool slipped and hit him in the face. Louis became blind in both eyes. He was sent to a school for the blind where he proved that he was intelligent, but he got annoyed by how difficult things were for him. Louis stayed on at school after graduating, becoming a professor and working with blind children. He wanted to improve their lives, and he wanted people who didn't have eyesight problems to stop talking to them as though they were stupid or slow. "We do not need pity," he said. "We must be treated as equals, and communication is how this can be brought about." From a captain of the French army, Louis heard about something called night writing, which soldiers used to send messages without speaking on the battlefield. It was a series of raised dots and dashes that you could feel with your fingers. Louis had an idea. Using the very same tool that had blinded him, Louis began making small dots in the paper. He created the system we now call Braille. It was easy to write, easy to read, and easy to use in books. Braille is now used by blind people all over the world. Famous musicians have learned to read music using it. New books are published in it, and it's been put on shop tills, museum exhibits, and traffic lights so that blind people have the freedom to live their lives like everyone else. And there it is again. Okay, and the last one, which I didn't read from last time, the second book for Girls Who Dare to Be Different, is Merritt Moore, who I have to confess I haven't heard of, who was born in China in 1988, and she's a quantum physicist and a ballerina. Strange combination. Once upon a time there was a girl who loved science and ballet. She was equally talented at both, but everyone said, "You'll have to choose, science or art, physics or ballet." Merritt tried to give up ballet many times. She even burned her pointe shoes, but she always started dancing again. Eventually, she joined the Zurich Ballet Company and became a professional ballerina. At the same time, she was also researching physics at Harvard University. 1 minute she'd be in her tutu and point shoes, the next she'd be in the lab coat. It was hard. Sometimes I felt overwhelmed, she said. I'd be in the lab for 20 hours a day, even sleeping there, but I knew I had to dance. She would take a break from work, sneak out to a stairwell and practice ballet there. When she did, she found that she came back to the lab with a fresh perspective, and she discovered that physics helped her understand dance too. I think it's so important for scientists to explore art. You have to think about concepts with imagination and creativity. The two parts of her life came together beautifully in a dance piece called 0 Point, which explored a concept from quantum physics called 0 point energy. Today, Merritt is finishing her PhD at Oxford University, and she still keeps dancing. Her favourite quote is from one of the greatest scientists in history, Albert Einstein. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. And that's just what Merritt intends to do. And her quote says, I want to shatter all the stereotypes. The dream is to continue combining physics and dance. And there she is doing a very interesting ballet move. I wonder how many of you can do that. Okay, so that's all for today. And hopefully we're going to see you all very, very soon. Keep in touch. Don't forget to keep sending us your messages. We haven't had many this week, so I'm looking forward to more next week. Take care.